How's it going? I'm on an absolute roll. You're going to notice that the three most recent videos, are in the parents' vehicle. I'm home, and so I'll just throw out two things. I forgot who I asked for it, but they said, obviously I'm not going to do regular book reviews because I'd rather just tear through a book. And some people are very critical that the reviews weren't good enough or whatever, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm not going to do reviews because you know what do you want me to just read you the book while you're falling asleep? So I'm like, you know what, I'm not doing that. So great idea. I don't know if it was I guess I won't say the name, Chris London. But two books that I just read. If you're in business, one of them is a business book, the other one's a real estate book. But if you're in business, you have to read Sam Walton's book. He amazing ideas in there. Obviously, it's about Walmart, but in there you can read about setbacks and company culture and profit sharing and building out and just failures and just, oh, what a boss he was for him to build Walmart. Obviously people have their thoughts on Walmart, and the book is called Made in America. I think it's called Made in America. And the second book is How to Sell Luxury Homes, I think. I don't know because I get it on Kindle and the title's not up there. So I just buy it and then I finish it. And then I'm like, wow, those are some really good ideas. And then that's it. But the guy's name is something Cotton, the guy's last name. And he sells Cape Cod homes. Ironically enough, Cotton sells Cape Cod homes. So let's go into the video. I was at the gym yesterday and I was talking with this girl, and very pretty girl who normally and typically you'd say she's on Instagram, she's taking a lot of selfies because she's very pretty, and that's what very pretty girls do. They love their social media, they love their reality TV and Bachelorette and everything else. And listen, girls, I know you're saying, well, you're just putting us all in a box. Listen, what would you say about guys? We only like football. Yeah, we do. So admit that you like reality TV and, The Bachelorette. If you do, or The Bachelor, whatever. Are they the same thing? I don't know. I don't have a TV. So I was talking to her and I was like, oh, did you see my video? Because I own a real estate company in New York City and we produce property tours and everything else. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to risk putting a video out. And it was a blooper video of us doing a professional walkthrough video. Is that there's bloopers and outtakes where I don't get it right. I'm filming it and I forgot the line, I forgot what I'm going to say or whatever. Or I do it in New York City, so a car will beep or an ambulance will go by and it'll totally screw up the noise. So I was like, you know what, let's do a blooper video of the actual real video. And it was wildly successful. People loved it. They thought it was hilarious. Charles, this is great. And I was like, all right, I'm onto something. So I was at the gym and I was talking to her and I said, hey, listen, I just put out a video. You got to see it. It's really funny. And if you really want to see the funny side of me or whatever, because I only know her as a gym person, it's like you only know someone as a work person or as a school person. Then you see them outside of that environment and they might be different or whatever. So I said, yeah, do you want to see me in the professional environment, but a blooper reel? She's like, how do you have time for social media? I was like, what do you mean? She's like, what do you mean? Like, how do you, like, I'm like, well, what do you do? Like, you're on Facebook. We're friends on Facebook. You're on Instagram. We're following each other on Instagram. And she continues to say about that she doesn't have time and that it's very time consuming and blah, blah, blah. Not going to bore you with it, but it's the same thing when someone says, I don't have time to go to the gym. I don't have time to call people for business, or I don't have time to study, or whatever your excuse is. But this is the biggest thing, and I've said it before and I heard it from someone else, is that God forbid something happens to your family. Do you have time for that? Yeah, you do. Do you have time to go to the hospital in case someone enters the hospital that you know and love? Yeah, you do. So it's not that you don't have time, it's how you choose your time. You have to switch your mindset around, I don't have time, to I choose what to do. I choose to create my life. I choose certain things that may be good or bad. You choose everything in your life. I came out with an accountability video a couple of days ago, and you have extreme accountability, which is everything. Say I'm in this car and a meteor hits me. I chose to be in this car, and that's it. Like, I chose to be here. Like, I made the decision to get in the car, to film in the car before I go and get breakfast. I chose to do that. So this is the biggest thing, is when you say you don't have time, you are literally, not only are you playing victim, but you're also giving up the right to create your life. You're giving up the right. What you really should say is, I choose not to consume social media. I choose not to watch TV, reality TV. I choose not to have garbage food or sugar, or in the other sense, which is I choose not to go to the gym. And the funny thing is, when you say that, you get more power back. You get your power back because you're saying, I choose to do something, instead of I don't have time. I don't have the time to go to the gym. You're giving up your power of decision. There was a book, it's called Choices. I think it's called Choices by Shad Helmstetter. That's an all right book. But in there, he says one of the best things that I've heard, which I pretty much just elaborated it to. But he said, when you have a decision, and there's between two things. Say you're at a restaurant, it's between the salmon or the steak or whatever. I don't know. Or you decide, should I go to the gym? Should I not go to the gym? Whatever you do, you say, I decide, I choose the steak. Don't say I'll go with or I'll have the steak. Say it in an empowering way. Because when you say I'll have or I'll do or I'll be or blah blah blah, you're saying I'll do it. But when you say I decide, I choose. Decide comes from the Greek, I think it's Greek or Latin, which is desir. And desir means to cut off from. When you cut off, that means you cut off the other decision. When you decide to do something, you decide to go to the gym or you decide not to go to the gym. When you decide to eat healthy food or not to eat healthy food. When you decide to study or not to decide, you literally have to say, I decide to watch reality TV. I decide to not make phone calls today for business. And when you say that, you are empowering yourself because you're saying, I made this decision to do this, instead of saying, I don't have time to make phone calls. So this is the biggest thing. How did I come to this conclusion? How did I even just look at the process of what happened? I was in a conversation with a girl that she said, I don't have time. I could have agreed with her or I could have questioned her. What did I do? I decided to question her. I said, what do you mean you don't have time? Well, I'm at work and then I come home and blah, blah, blah. By the way, she's a single girl. So that means she doesn't have obligations of a boyfriend. She doesn't have obligations of a husband. You know, like maybe the husband needs to go to a work event and she has to go with him. She doesn't have a kid. She literally just has a job and she lives in New York City. That's like the 8 million other people that live there. What's the difference? Is that she's deciding, but the thing is she's not saying that. She's saying, I just don't have time for social media. Oh, okay. Like, it's nothing against her not having time for social media. I'm not saying that. All right? I don't care. I could care less, to be honest. But you have to say, when you're in a conversation, okay, you don't have time for social media. I would think that she would be on social media more. I don't consume social media. I choose not to because I want to get my time back. And I'll just say the second part. So in other words, my mind is just running in 1,000 different spots. So she says that, I question it, and then I say, wow, that's interesting. She's deciding not to do social media. All right. I'm going to make a video about this. So when people say, Charles, how do you just riff on it? It's because I observe life. I cannot stress that enough. So many people, like I've said, are subjectively participating. Yes, you need to be present in everything else. But when you objectively observe something, when you objectively see a beautiful sunset or clouds or the environment, or you're in a conversation and someone says, I don't have time for that. And you're like, well, okay. You're like, why don't you have time for it? Question it. Don't just accept it. Observe the conversations you're in and say, she's choosing, but she's not saying that. And then the second thing is, which actually gives you more power, one of the most important things, crap, I just forgot it too. I was literally going to say one of the bigger points. Oh, this is it. Okay, so you've already heard that everyone has 24 hours in a day. You already know that. What's the equality between everyone? You know, doesn't matter where you live or how you grew up or your gender, your color, your religion, or where you, whatever. You know, everyone's got 24 hours in a day. It depends how you spend it. So I'll take it a little bit further. Obviously, yes, we all have 24 hours in a day, and it depends on how you spend it. The biggest thing is you have to understand how many decisions you make before 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. You decide to get out of bed, not to get out of bed, to snooze the alarm, not to snooze the alarm. How do I get out of bed? When I get out of bed, what do I do? Do I go to the bathroom? Do I brush my teeth? Do I go for my phone? Do I even get out of bed? Do I check? I'm on my phone. Do I turn off my alarm and then go for my email? Is my phone on airplane mode so I don't know what text messages? Do I go to social media? Do you understand you didn't even get out of bed and you already have made a dozen decisions? When you get out of bed, what do? Do you go for water? Do you have water? Do you put on your sneakers and go for a run? Do you have your phone in your hand? Do you start playing music? Do you look at the news? Do you look at social media? Do you turn on the light? Do you meditate? Do you read? You've made 24 decisions and you've been awake for 10 minutes. Is your clothes out? That's what I mean when I say decide. You literally can create. It's your mindset. It's your mentality. It's your everything. All right? So take control by saying, I decide, and take control by understanding and observing every single decision. You get at it, listen to two scenarios, and I'll end it on this because the video is going long. Two scenarios, me, myself. I wake up, I snooze, I wake up, my alarm's going off, I turn it off. I take my phone out of the charger, I go over, I plug it in, and I start playing music that's meditating. I sit on a chair and I start meditating. My phone is on airplane mode, so I don't know what text messages. I haven't checked email. I don't care about social media. I post on social media, and that's it. I don't consume social media. Think of the other person. The other person wakes up, they take their phone out of their charger, they snooze the alarm, they put the phone right next to them. They then snooze it again. They then wake up and they say, I got to go to work. They check their phone real quick for all the emails. They then are bothered by the emails they get. They then go on social media. They see political things, and then they start getting angry at Trump or Hillary. Then they see their ex-girlfriend on social media. They haven't even gotten out of bed. They then get out of bed. Their mind is in a terrible mindset. They then go over. They don't meditate. They don't go to the gym. They then have coffee. Who's going to win in life? Who's going to be happy in life? You decide. You decide. This was a powerful video for myself. I hope it was for you. Leave the comments below. You guys are the ones that push this channel forward. You know, it's you guys, your comments, you sharing it and everything else. So obviously I'm saying that I'm pushing the largest self-development community, but it's, you know, I can't really do it without members. So I am getting two people on board, two I guess YouTube movers and shakers. And obviously check out the company below. Have an awesome day. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below because you do make the decision to do everything in life. Talk to you soon.